In this video, I'll show you how to use the index on Westlaw to retrieve a statute. So here we are at the page of California sources, and I'm going to go into the statutes. Now over here on the right, under Tools and Resources, you'll see Index California Statutes. So I'm going to click on that, and now I have a long list of index search terms. So this would look very similar to the print index if you were to compare them. I can go to any particular letter in the alphabet, so this would be similar to pulling the right volume of the index off the page, or I can search up here. And if you want to be sure what you're searching, just pull that down and you'll see I'd be searching the California index, not the statutes themselves, but the index. So I'm going to start by going to S for shoplifting, and I'm going to scroll down till I find shoplifting. And there it is. I click on it, and now it shows me that under shoplifting there's only one entry generally, but there are two separate sections of the California Penal Code that will apply, and one we're familiar with, 459.5, and this is another one. And so I just click on that and can be taken to the section that I want to look at, or I probably want to look at both of them, so I can be taken to the section. The other option is to search the index. So I'm going to search shoplifting. It finds the word shoplifting in the index. I click on that, and there I am at my two section numbers. Now let's look at a sample that's a little more complex than the shoplifting example. When we clicked shoplifting in the index, it took us directly to just one listing that had two links attached to it. Let's look at one that's a little bit more involved. So here we are back at the index. Let's say you're interested in abandoned or unclaimed property. So you find that in the A's, and you go there, and you can see instead of there just being one entry, like in shoplifting it was generally, you can see it's quite a long list of search terms that fall under the term abandoned or unclaimed property. You can see here under generally that there's several places in the Civil Code and the Civil Procedure Code where it's telling you could start. But let's say you know you're interested in something in particular about the Unclaimed Property Act. So you can scroll down till you get to the U's, and you see Unclaimed Property Fund, and you see there's no links next to it. This means that when you click on this, you will find more. So I open it up, and here is the list of the search terms under the Unclaimed Property Fund. So suppose you were interested in the unclaimed property of mental patients who died in a state institution. Here we go, State Treasury, mental patients dying in state institutions, and it gives me a link to the appropriate section. So sometimes when you click on the link in the index, you will be taken to a page with more choices, and then you may be taken to a page with even more choices. But it's just like the print index. It's just you have to do it in steps by clicking instead of just opening to the page and there's this entire list of choices. So you can see even when it's a little more complex than the shoplifting example, it's still relatively easy, and it's just like using the print version, just with the extra clicks involved. And that's all there is to using the index to the statutes. The next video will be about using word searches on Westlaw to retrieve statutes.